Geometry of fascism. Coming to fascism was a far-right, authoritarian and ultra-nationalist political ideology and movement that rose to prominence in early 20th century. Word Gematria. Fascism is characterized by support for a dictatorial leader, centralized autocracy, militarism, forcible suppression of opposition, belief in a natural social hierarchy, subordination of individual interests for the perceived interests of the nation or race, and strong regimentation of society and the economy, opposed to communism, democracy, liberalism, pluralism, and socialism. Fascism is at the far right of the traditional left. Right spectrum. The first fascist movements emerged in Italy during World War I before spreading to other European countries, most notably Germany. Fascism also had a remnant outside of Europe. Fascists saw World War I as a revolution that brought massive changes to the nature of war, society, the state, and technology. The advent of total war and the mass mobilization of society erased the distinction between civilians and combatants. A military citizenship arose in which all citizens were involved with the military in some manner, or resulted in the rise of a powerful state capable of collision against the people destroying from killing mass, providing logistics to support them, and moral blessings and authority to intervene in the lives of citizens. Gematria fascism views from the violence, including political violence, imperialist violence, and war as means to witness and rejuvenation. Fascists often advocate for the national, proletarian, variety state, and for a dirigist economy, which is a market economy in which the state plays a strong directive role through market intervention, with the principal goal of achieving national economic self-sufficiency. Your old terms and fascism emphasizes both pelling innocence, national rebirth, or regeneration, and modernity when it is deemed compatible with national rebirth, and promoting the nation's regeneration. Fascists seek to purge the decadent. Fascism may also center around a name growth, opposition, and demonization of others, such as various ethnicities, immigrants, nations, races, political opponents of fascist parties, religious groups, and sexual and gender minorities. In the case of Nazism, this involved racial purity and the belief in the master race. This demonization has motivated fascists as race to commit massacres, forced sterilizations, deportation, and genocides during World War II. The genocidal and imperial nations of the fascist regimes of the Axis powers resulted in the murder of millions of people. This was the name of the individual Liquor 45. Gematria of fascism has been largely disgraced. A few parties of political describe themselves as fascist. The term is often interpreted by political or opponents to descriptions. Neo-fascist or post-fascist are sometimes applied to exoteric parties with ideologies similar to or rooted in the 20th century fascist movement. The Italian term fascismo was derived from fascio, meaning one of the stakes, often immediately from Latin word fascist. This was the name given to political organizations in Italy known as fasci groups, similar to guilds or syndicates, subverted to a fascist dictator Benito Mussolini's own account. The fascists, a revolutionary action, were founded in Italy in 1915. In 1919, Mussolini founded the Italian fascists, a combat in Milan, which became the National Fascist Party 2 years later. The fascists came to associate the term with the ancient Roman fascists, or fascia literally, or a bundle of rods tied around an axe. An ancient Roman symbol of the authority of the civic magistrate carried by his lictors. The symbolism of the fascists suggests a strength through unity. A single rod is easily broken, while the bundle is difficult to break. Prior to 1914, the fascist symbol was widely employed by various political movements. So whenever left wing, the liberal persuasion, for instance, according to Robert Paxton, Marianne, symbol of the French Republic, was often portrayed in the 19th century, carrying the fascists to represent the force of Republican solidarity against our aristocratic and corporate enemies. The symbol often appeared as an architectural motif, for instance on the Sheldonian Theater at Oxford University and on the Lincoln Memorial in Washington, D.C. Cult of the leader who promises national restoration in the face of humiliation brought on by supposed candidates, Marxists, and minorities and immigrants who are supposedly posing as permanent evidence in the history of a nation. The leader proposes that only he can solve the lot of his political opponents or enemies or traitors. Gematria fascists are rat scum, snitches,